everyday carry. It's the items and tools and gear that we all should be carrying on an everyday basis, just in case, to take care of tasks and take care of challenges that we may come across. Or if we run into a serious emergency, we have a few items that we can use to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and help other people in need. I'm Jack, and I'm a co-founder of SkilledSurvival.com and TheResilientLife.com, and I've been sharing my tips, tricks, strategies, gear reviews, etc. online since 2013. So if you like this kind of content, then I highly recommend that you take a moment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way you'll never miss a future video. Okay, so I have two main types of carry. I have kind of what I call a pockets only EDC carry list. And I also have a bag, which I'll bring in here in a little bit. And it allows me to carry a few more items every day. So I try to take my bag most of the time when I'm going. I'll leave it in my vehicle if I need to, but that way I have access to more gear and more equipment should I run into any type of emergency any given day. But let's start off with kind of the everyday carry pocket only, the small tools that can fit into pockets and whatnot. So let's start off here with a set of keys or a key fob, right? So this is my keys, very minimalistic. I don't like bulky keys in my pocket, but I did add this little Gerber shard to my keys. This gives me a prying tool. It gives me a bottle opener. It gives me a wire stripper. It gives me a Phillips head screwdriver and a regular head screwdriver. So it's just a little tool that in a worst case scenario, I got a few little things that I can do in order to fix something or repair something. So it's a neat little device. It's well made. And so it might be something you're looking at adding to your keychain as well. A smartphone or a cell phone. Most people have a smartphone or cell phone. When you leave the house and don't know where this is, we all get a little bit of anxiety, which tells us we're probably slightly addicted to these things. So if you don't carry a cell phone, congratulations. But for most people, we find a spot in our pockets or purses for our cell phones or our smartphones. I wear a hat most days. Now, in the winter, I'll wear a stocking cap, but a hat can be considered an everyday carry. It's not really a tool other than it does shade your eyes from the sun when you need it. So, it could be considered a tool. I tend to wear one every day, so I thought I'd throw that in there. Gloves. So these are my gloves for the winter to keep my fingers warm. You can see I've worn them out, basically, but it allows me to keep open it up and have my fingers ready. And then if my fingers are freezing or I'm biking, I can always put the mitten on over the top. And so there's a lot of gloves out there. And in the summer, you might look at tactical gloves, but a pair of gloves is something that I often do have in my coat pocket. And so it becomes a part of my everyday carry system. Nowadays, with masks and things like that, I do carry a gaiter. I often wear it around my neck. Especially if I'm on a bike ride or whatnot, and it's cold out, so I can just pop that up over. I also can just throw this in my back pocket, and then it's good to go. All right, my watch. I have a bit of a survival watch. I do want to upgrade my watch to one with a bit more information, a bit more data. I'm looking at some G-Shock line of watches that look real good to me, but for now I have this reasonably priced solar watch here that I wear most days. A paracord bracelet. I do wear a paracord bracelet. There are many uses for paracord, so I do highly recommend that you find a way to either wear a paracord bracelet. If that's not your thing, you can always, I'll show you later, we got these paracord grenades, or just a little bit of paracord you can slip into a pouch. But on your wrist is an easy way to do it if that's something you like. We have this Firehawk tactical flashlight. We actually sell these ourselves, okay? So I think everybody should have a flashlight on them at all times. Even during the day, say you're somewhere where the lights are out and you're in a closet and you're trying to look in the back and find something, or you're working on fixing some small appliance or a computer and seeing if it's plugged in, you can shine this back behind it. So a flashlight is something that you're going to use often, whether it's dark out or it's light out or whatnot. So what I like about it, it's small. It's super bright. All it takes is a single AA battery, and it slips and clips into your pocket so smoothly, you don't even know it's there, okay? So it's a great everyday carry tactical flashlight. At the time I'm shooting this video, we're giving away these for free, plus a very small shipping and handling fee, okay? So if you want to get a few of these to give away as gifts, or just have a few extra around the house, click the link in the description below, and you can pick up one of these at a very low cost. Okay, next up, I probably should have detailed this one earlier, is a tactical wallet or a money clip. This is my money clip. It's very basic. It just clips the money. They have some online that you can find that have many more features. They cost a few more dollars, but depends on what you're looking for. Now, one thing that I have in here that I carry often is called a credit card knife. These became extremely popular a few years back. So popular that TSA was confiscating many of these because people would try to bring these onto the plane. And obviously when they see a blade type of system here, TSA is not going to like that. So this thing can unfold and become a little blade that's it's pretty sharp. It could be a self-defense tool. It could be a little bit of a shaving, opening packages. Obviously, it would be easy with this. So, you know, it's a neat little everyday carry item that is concealed because it, for the most part, just blends in with your tactical wallet. Okay, so there. All right, speaking of knives and tools like that, I have, I used to carry this little, like, it's not a Swiss Army knife, but it's that kind of style where you have all kinds of different little tools that pop out. So you can carry something like that. Or if you want to, you can go a little bit bigger and get something like this EVATAC rescue knife. Okay, this is the one I carry. It's got a nice solid clip. It's a nice big blade, nice chunky handle. It's got a spring assist open, so you can just pull it out of your pocket and bam, it's open. It's going to open packages real easy. It's a defense knife in a pinch. It also has kind of the grab and pull to rip string open if you have string or something on this end. So it also has a glass breaker on this end. Okay, that's why it's a rescue knife. It has a few extra tools on it that allow you to break things, to rip things open, and it's just a great all-around pocket knife. And they have a great deal on these as well. So if you want one of these, go to the link in the description below and you'll go to the landing page. I'm not exactly sure the price. I think it was somewhere around $15 or so, but click the link, go see what the price is. Prices can change, but at the time of posting this video, this was an excellent deal. Great gift for somebody, or maybe just a gift for yourself. Okay, another knife you might consider carrying, and no, you don't have to carry every single one of these knives, but and I don't carry every single one of these knives every single day. I tend to carry this rescue knife primarily, but you could also carry this, what's called a neck knife. Okay, so the way this works is you put it around your neck, you drop it down here, and what's great about the neck knife is it's small. It doesn't leave much of an imprint at all. So when I'm wearing it, you know, if my clothes are loose enough, you don't even see and know that I'm wearing it. But if I ever needed it in a pinch, boom, I can pull it out from underneath my shirt. And what's cool is it's a small blade, but it's fixed blade, okay? So you can baton with this thing. You can hit it and split wood with it, okay? It's super strong. It's super thick. Look at that full tang fixed blade knife. It's sharp. It's got this nice little ridges on the back so you can really get a solid grip on it. It's a neat knife, and you can get a good deal on this knife as well. Links in the description below for basically everything I'm covering today. If you want to know more about it, go to the description below and there'll be a link. Oh, and what's also great about this knife is it's got a really tight sheath. So you hear it click in there. Listen, it clicks in, it's not coming out. To get it out, you have to really kind of give it a pull. So that's a good tolerance on that, so that it's not going to just accidentally fall out when it's in its sheath. The sheath also has a compass, which is nice for everyday carry, and it's got knife sharpener. Okay, so the sheath got a few extra tools on it, and that makes it worth carrying and keeping on you. Next up is some kind of survival lighter. Now you could carry just a basic Bic lighter if you choose, or a Zippo if you want, but this one here is an electric lighter, okay? You can see, creates those dual arcs. And so I can recharge this, and I can also, it's got a flashlight on it, so that's kind of a neat thing. And on this, it's got a whistle. Okay, so it's a bit of a self-defense, rescue whistle, lighter, flashlight, all in one, okay? It's even got a strobe. So this is a neat lighter. If you want to know more about this lighter, link in the description below. Okay, I try to carry a few small bandages even in my back pocket if I don't have my bag with me. That's because I have 2 small kiddos and they get bumps and scrapes and they always need bandages, so I try to keep just a little bit of bandages for them. This here's a tactical pen. I think you should carry a pen. If you're going to carry a pen anyway, you might as well make it a tactical pen. That way, in a pinch, if you're in a self-defense situation, you don't have your knife on you, you can use this to attack and defend and stab people in the jugular, different pressure points on people, inside their inner leg. That will help stop somebody in their tracks if you know how to use this. Plus, again, these are all multi-tools. This one has a little bit of a flashlight on it, okay? And if you unscrew it, see, there's your pen, okay? But you can screw this, and then you have a few extra tools. You have a little serrated blade, you have a screwdriver, you have a bottle opener, you have a hex, a bolt hex. So just a couple little things that you never know. Might as well make a tool that has an extra few little gadgets and gizmos, and just in case you run into something and you have it on you. A pair of glasses, or you can upgrade to something tactical glasses that have some ballistic type resistances. We have a post on tactical glasses, so you can check that out. But basically, a pair of sunglasses. When I'm not wearing them, I tend to flip them and put them this way. See, I used to carry them like this when I wasn't using them, but then I'd take my hat off and readjust my hat, and then I lost a couple pairs of glasses that way. So now I don't really do this to be cool. Some people think, oh, look at him, he thinks he's so cool, he's wearing his glasses backwards. But if I don't need my glasses and I'm inside, it's the safest place for me to put them and not lose them and not scratch them. So actually, this is how I adjust my hat and my glasses just stay where they're at. So that's the way I wear my glasses inside when I'm going inside, outside, and I take them off, I stick them there. Okay, a pair of earbuds, okay? I think those are nice for when you want to listen to some music. If you're somewhere working remotely, or you're working out, or you want to listen to a podcast going here or there. A lot of times I'll just put one earbud in. That way I can hear if I'm driving or doing something like that. But earbuds, I tend to stick those in my pocket. In the winter, in my coat pocket, I'll put one of these hand warmers, okay? This guy, you turn it on, you see it's all red there. This little puck starts getting warm. And what I like that for is if you're out hunting, see, I duck hunt and I get into some frigid cold temperatures early in the morning or late at night, and my fingers get frozen if I'm out in the bush waiting and calling for ducks. So if I have this, I can get my fingers on it and just keep my fingers a little more agile. And so I'm ready to shoot and pull that trigger. And so it's actually a great hunting device. Plus my wife and my daughter and my son, they get cold fingers occasionally. And so it's nice to just have this and hand it around if we're outside in the cold. There's a little less complaining. I wouldn't say no complaining, but there's a little less complaining if we're outside in the cold, like at a football game or something like that. Pass this around to the family and everybody's a little bit warmer. Okay, so those are the main things I carry in my pockets that I take with me most days. Some of it's seasonally dependent, but that gives you a sense of the things that I try to carry to be prepared, to be ready, and to have the tools I need to take care of tasks that happen to come up. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my everyday carry bag. Okay, this is a larger bag. It's a backpack. It's a combat bag from EVTech, and it is an excellent pack. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll see I've highlighted this pack several times. It's one of the best packs on the market with Mole all over it, which allows you to put extra pouches like this medical pouch that we'll talk about in a minute. It's got thick clips. It's got nice fat zippers, okay? It's got some rings, it's got padding, it's got double stitching in all the right places. I've used this pack for a couple of years now, and it's held up really well. And the price on this, it's great, okay? It's a great price on this. You're gonna get an excellent bag at a reasonable price. It's small enough to be an EDC bag. It's a great get-home bag. And it's also big enough, if you expand it out and add a few more items to it, to become a bug out bag as well. So this is a great pack, okay? I just need to mention that before we start looking at all the items, okay? Because if you have a bad pack, if your EDC backpack isn't good, then you're gonna regret it. Just put it that way, okay? You need to start with a great pack, okay? Links in the description below to check out this pack and see what the price is. All right, so I clip a little extra paracord to my bag. Can never really have too much paracord. This one has some extra tools. It's got a compass, it's got Ranger bands, it's got some knives and clips and some survival tools inside this. I'm not gonna get inside this and ruin this nice bracelet unless it's a life-threatening wilderness survival scenario, okay? But I throw it on my pack just in case. Also, you can clip a survival grenade. This is more paracord as well. This has some fishing gear and some different survival tools all wrapped in here, okay? Again, just more survival tools clipped on there. All right, let's open this guy up and see what we got. This first item is a small pocket. So this could fit in your pocket if you wanted to, but it's a knife sharpener, okay? It's super lightweight. It's got both coarse and fine for regular blades. And it's also got this this pull out, and you use this to sharpen your serrated blades if you happen to have a serrated blade, okay? So it's a nice tool to have in your EDC backpack. I got another whistle. It's a super loud whistle. This is actually a dog training whistle from my Chocolate Lab Remy. This here is a ferro rod, okay? So I think everybody should have multiple ways to start a fire. Now, if you get a ferro rod, make sure you practice with it, okay? These things aren't as easy as they seem. There, throw some sparks out there for you. Okay, so the key with a ferro rod real quick is, say you have a little bit of tinder here on my desk. Instead of scraping towards it and knocking the tinder bundle with my hand, hold this hand steady and pull back. And that way the sparks will fly, but you're not disrupting your tinder because you're pulling away from it, okay? So just a little quick tip on that. Let's see what else we got here. You could take a battery bank, okay? So you just charge this guy up before you leave the house, and you have a little bit of extra juice to plug your smartphone in or some other electronic device and keep it running. So it's just a little power battery bank. They're cheap, they're lightweight, it's easy to throw them into an EDC backpack. Let's take a look at this My Medic pouch, okay? If you have Mole on your backpack, then you should get one of these My Medic pouches, okay? They make this one's called a Solo, which last time I looked they're actually out of, or you can look at their IFAC, which is slightly bigger. It's got a few more tools and supplies, but you open this guy up and you know it's got really nice quality shears, okay? It's got really great tweezers, really tight tweezers. So if somebody gets a nasty splinter, you got something to get to them. It's got all the lubes and creams. It's even got like chest seal. So if you're ever in an active shooter situation and somebody is bleeding out their chest, you can put something on it. It's got quick clot. It's even got a rat's tourniquet, okay? Plus all the bandages and things like that. It's got an airway device, okay? So if somebody's choking or isn't breathing, you can get an airway device in them. So obviously you should spend a little bit of time and effort learning how to use all this gear so that you're not just carrying it, you actually understand how to use it. But it's a wise investment for EDC, and this is one of the best things to prepare for. Some of these items I've talked about, like the hand warmers, they're just nice to have, okay? Rarely is that gonna save your life. Now the hand warmer could save your life. If you were freezing cold, you could take it and put it underneath your armpits and actually keep yourself from preventing hypothermia. A medical kit is an obvious survival and preparedness tool that I think every adult should invest in, okay? So if you want to check out My Medic, links in the description below. All right, real quick, a notepad and a pencil, okay? A pencil won't freeze. The ink won't freeze in the winter, and it won't run out. Or when it does run out, you'll see it visually versus ink where you'll be surprised. So I think a pencil is more resilient in some ways than a pen, but I just hate when I think of something and then I forget and I don't write it down. So some people use their phones. I do like to have a pen and a notepad with me. This here is what I call tinder. So you can buy some tinder online. What I use is I have an old school pencil sharpener in my office. It's right over there. And the kids use it to sharpen their pencils. Well, when that thing gets full, instead of dumping it in the trash, I just throw it in a Ziploc baggie. And this makes for great tinder. It's fine and it's wood. So you strike it with a ferro rod or a lighter and it's going to create a nice little flame for you. Then all you got to do is make sure you have some nice kindling, some real thin kindling, and that fire will take off, okay? But this really helps making fire starting with survival tools much, much easier. Okay, a compass. I think everybody should have a compass. Now, some of the other tools I showed you earlier have compasses built in. Some of those compasses are really cheap. It's not a bad idea to throw a second, nicer compass in that you can really trust, okay? And then take the time to learn how to use a compass. Some tissue paper. Okay, this is a beat up little tissue, but in an emergency, if my kid is having boogers everywhere, I prefer not to use my sleeve. I've done that. It's not fun, or you do what you got to do. But this is for boogers from a kid or yourself, or in a pinch if you're not anywhere near a bathroom, or I mean, we go camping all the time. You get to a state park and they're out of toilet paper, right? Somebody didn't come and fill up the toilet paper roll, and then you're screwed. So you got to have something like this as a backup. Okay, some bacterial wipes or some hand sanitizer. I carry these small binoculars. I used to carry a bigger set of binoculars, but they just took up so much space and they weighed a lot. These aren't the best binoculars in the world. You can pay a lot and get some really small binoculars that are great. This is actually a kid's set of binoculars, and they work okay. When we see some wildlife, me and the kids will bust this out and take a peek. And if I was ever in a survival situation, this would still be a high quality tool to have, because honestly, being able to see at further distances than your natural eyes can is like a superhero power, right? It's like from Marvel's comic or something. But the bottom line is it's a really nifty tool. And I think as modern folks, we're used to these being available. But in ancient times, people would have killed each other for such a powerful tool. So I like to have them on me just in case, for fun and for, you just never know, right? A water filter. Okay, this Sawyer Mini is amazing. It's tiny. It's only a few ounces in weight. It's really small, and you can get down into a stream and suck through it, and it takes out 99.99999% of bacteria, and it can do 100,000 gallons for one of these. So this is great for everyday carry. This is also great for just survival in general. I mean, if you had a barrel of water and you needed to filter it before you drank it in a survival scenario, you could set this up as a gravity filter, okay? You put the water up here, you put a hose out of this, and you just let it drip all day long. Drip, 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 and it'll filter that water. And you can do 100,000 gallons, okay, with this one little device. So you buy 2 or 3 of these, and you're good to go from a survival standpoint, and you can keep your water filtered. All right, some of these aren't critical items. This here is just a little card set, a little set of cards. Keep the kids entertained, and if in a worst case scenario, if everybody thinks survival is an exciting experience, but if you're on the run and you're trying to avoid other people, there's going to be some boring downtime, and you need to keep yourself sane. Okay, so little pack of cards. You can play war, slapjack, euchre, solitaire, all kinds of games with a pack of cards. Small puzzle. You can get these little puzzles in these little tins. And for me, I enjoy puzzles, and so do my kids. So this will get me at least a half hour of peace and quiet. If the kids are fighting, boom, get a puzzle out. At a restaurant, and it's going to be a long wait because it's busy, boom, get a puzzle out. Earplugs. You just never know when these will come in handy, whether you're like forced to sleep in an airport because the layover was missed and now you got to wait in a day and everybody in the airport's snoring and loud, earplugs. But that's just one example. You just never know. Little toothpicks. Okay, these are like the little rubber kind that is a toothpick, but also like floss. Eating somewhere and I got a piece of meat in my teeth or popcorn seed in my teeth. That gets me pretty annoyed. So having something like this is a nice tool. It's lightweight. It's small, so it doesn't take up any space. These are neat. These are called USB batteries, rechargeable batteries. So they're rechargeable. So when they run out, you can just plug these into a charger that accepts USB or a computer and charge them back up. So this works well with like the Firehawk tactical flashlight I talked about earlier. You can have this in there, and then at some point, if you run out of juice, you could take your battery bank or your solar charger battery bank, which we'll get to in a minute, or your hand crank radio, which we'll get to in a minute, plug it in and recharge it. Okay. So you're never out of juice with these batteries. Okay. These are smart. Again, links in the description below. All right, I might get some flack for this one from people, but I don't care. This is a selfie stick, okay? I hate selfie sticks most of the time. People walking around with their selfie stick. If I'm anywhere where there's other people around, I will ask other people if they'll take my family's picture. If we're on a hike, I'll say, hey, ma'am, can you take our picture? It's better than walking around with this thing, everywhere. But we often hike to very, very remote locations. And me and my family like to document, hey, we were at the top of this mountain, or we were at this cool waterfall that was in the middle of nowhere. Well, when there's no one else around, I can hold my arm. I have a very long arm, but I still struggle to get a great picture of both the family and where we're at, With this, of course, selfie, you can stick this out here and take a picture and get a nice picture of my family in a remote location. So I just put this in here. Like I said, I don't use it if there's other people around, but I will bust it out if it's just my family. All right, this pouch here is actually part of the EDC kit as well. This is a EMP shielded, like a Faraday cage, EMP shielded pouch. So if there was an EMP attack, electric magnetic pulse, I try to keep at least a few of my most important electronic gear in here. And I'll show you what. So you can see this foil. This foil is what would protect this stuff inside from an EMP blast. Okay. So the first thing I keep in there is my hand crank radio. Okay. And hand crank radio is another device that you should own. It's got a solar charger on top. It's AM, FM, weather band. It's got a flashlight, backup flashlight. It needs to be charged. But most important, it's a hand crank generator. So I just crank this for a while and it powers this radio. But also I can plug in anything with USB, like these batteries or a cell phone, and I can charge that up with the hand crank radio. So the hand crank radio is it's one of my favorite devices. Everybody should own a hand crank radio. There's really no excuse. It's great if communications are down, if the internet's down and TV broadcasts are down. Radio broadcasts are going to be one of the most resilient forms of communication. No, it's not perfect, but you got to invest in the most resilient stuff, and that's what this does. All right. The other cool tool I have here is this is a solar charger. It's called the Quadra Pro solar charger, and it has 4 solar panels. And this brick is just a battery bank, okay? So what's nice is the battery bank is nice and big, okay? So just when you leave the house, if you got that full, you're gonna have enough power to charge up your cell phone in a pinch. But what's really cool is you're never dead in the water. As long as the sun's out, you can put this out in the sun and get some more energy, so that if you happen to be in the wilderness and you're in a survival situation and your phone's about to die, you can keep it alive, which may be the signal you need to get some message to rescuers once you hit a cell phone area, right? As you're wandering about trying to escape some wilderness. But also, it's just nice to have in a backup case when you're driving around town and your cell phone's about dead. So this is a really cool device. It's a really good gift. It's one I've given to several people, and they always are thankful. They think it's a really cool tool. Oh, and one last thing I'll say about this. I ran a test for a week. I wanted to see if I could keep my cell phone charged for an entire week with just this, not using any electrical power off the grid. And I was able to do it. I just had to make sure, one, I didn't use my cell phone all day long, okay? I used it as normal or even a little less than normal. I was strategic about my usage of my cell phone, and I had to get this out in the sun every time the sun was out and kind of keep it adjusted so that I maximized my solar capabilities. But if you do those two things, it is possible to run your cell phone or your smartphone on just this device. An emergency poncho. It's lightweight, it's small, and let me tell you what, if you're ever in a rain and cold environment, hypothermia is a super dangerous situation. So this is a life-saving tool. Okay. And if you happen to be out and about and it's raining and you're at a soccer game or you're at a football game and you don't want to leave, you want to stay and enjoy, you got a poncho. This here is a blow up backpacker's mattress. It's about 6 foot long. It's about 2.5 foot wide. You blow it up, but it's pretty small and lightweight. But what's nice is if you're going on an airport and you happen to have to stay overnight, you can either sleep on the hard floor or you can have a backpacker's mattress. So to me, it's worth taking this, throwing it in my EDC bag, just in case I'm ever having to sleep somewhere that's not a good time, not fun. This makes it just a little bit easier, a little bit better. This is an emergency Mylar sleeping bag, okay? There's emergency blankets in here as well, okay? It's for my family. So these are lightweight. They're made of Mylar. Mylar is a material that doesn't allow molecules of oxygen or heat to pass through it. Okay, so if you're in a sleeping bag with Mylar, you put it around your body, any heat that your body creates gets trapped inside and it becomes this warm, toasty sleeping bag. The blankets work as well. They're not as good, I don't think, because obviously heat can escape through the bottom and the sides, whereas a bag kind of keeps you more bundled and wrapped. This bag has a whistle, so it's got an extra survival tool. This one's called the Tact Bivy. I think everyone should own several of these Tact Bivvies. You should put one in your glove box of your vehicles. You should put one in your backpack, okay? These things save lives in a cold weather emergency. I've seen movies and shows where, you know, somebody's freezing cold and the first responders, first thing to do is put a emergency blanket on them, just like this, okay? This is a wise investment. Everybody should get some of these or some of these, okay? And put them in their EDC kit. All right, I do carry a much brighter flashlight, so my little Firehawk flashlight does really good. There's nothing wrong with it, but this flashlight is even brighter, okay? This is a big, large flashlight, and this one's rechargeable. It has a rechargeable battery built inside of it, and I like that it can stand up and become kind of a lantern as well. And so, you know, there's a lot of flashlights on the market. We have an article on tactical flashlights in the description. You can find that if you want. But the bottom line is a big, nice, beefy, tactical LED bright flashlight makes sense. This here is a skivvy roll, okay? What a skivvy roll is, it's just the way to roll up a t-shirt, a pair of underwear, and a pair of socks, okay? So again, if you're stranded somewhere for a day or two and you're starting to stink and you're starting to feel depressed, you have a skivvy roll to replace your socks. A fresh pair of socks always makes me feel a ton better, especially on a backpacking trip or out in the wilderness, or if I'm stuck somewhere for a couple days. Fresh t-shirt, make you feel a little better. Fresh underwear, okay? So you always have some backups. Plus, this makes for a little bit, you get this and some clothes and you got a little pillow to go with your mattress, okay? So you got a mattress and a pillow? Come on, you can sleep anywhere. Add in your earplugs. I mean, literally, you can sleep anywhere. And so life can throw you a major curveball, and you have the tools needed to be like, okay, who cares? I got stuck at the airport overnight for 3 days. I did fine. I had puzzles. I had my cell phone. I had a radio. I had a mattress. And this, I mean, what more could a person want? You know, so, okay. I like to carry a fixed blade survival knife, okay? It's full tang. It's fixed blade. That means there's no hinge. It's super sharp. And this is what you need in the wilderness if you're trying to survive in the wilderness. It works well in the bush as well. Chopping, batoning, whittling, cutting, shaving, all the things you need to build a fire, to build a survival shelter. This is it. And it's got this nice beefy sheath. So we have an article on survival knives and tactical knives both. So in the description, you can find more information if you want. But I recommend if you're going to carry an EDC backpack, throw a fixed blade full tang survival knife in there, okay? Oh, on the outside, I forgot to mention, multi-tool. This is a Leatherman Wave, and it is a nice, high-quality multi-tool. Because there's some things where you just can't, unless you have a needle nose pliers, you just can't do it, okay? And it's also got just a ton of tools in this thing. I'll just show you a couple. So it's got obviously a kind of a serrated blade. It's got one of my favorite tools. Here's a more regular blade. One of my favorite tools is the scissors, if I can find them. Here they are. They're right here. So they pop out and this flips. And this actually is a very handy set of sharp scissors. Okay. So in a pinch, you can cut some items. So I just love having a multi-tool. You know, I use it all the time when I'm out and about and I run into some task I can't do without a needle nose pliers or something else. This is an excellent tool to put, and I put it on the outside of my pack here using the Molleye system, okay? So that's wise. Is a carabiner clip. I use this actually, so when I walk my dog, I have one of those retractable leashes. This clips easily onto my bag, so his little retractable thing clips right in here. And then when I'm walking and he's pulling and coming and going, I have my hands free. Okay, so it makes walking my chocolate lab Remy, who likes to pull on the leash like crazy, makes it a little easier to walk him. So that's what that is. Plus, it's a cool pulley system device. Okay, so if I ever had to use a pulley system in a pinch to hang some food or to pull something using a vehicle, you know, it's just a nice device that has this pulley and cinching system. And then I asked this really good carabiner. Okay, this is a thick carabiner. This is the kind of carabiner you could use to hold your body weight as long as the rope you're using is strong enough. I probably wouldn't use paracord unless I had it, braided in some way to make sure that it could hold my weight. But if you're ever having to go down a ravine or climb out of a window or something to escape a fire, let's say, and you didn't have everything you needed, you didn't have like a fire ladder and your life depended on it, you could use something like this. So it's just one of those tools that I don't know when and if I'll ever use it, but if and when I do, it's probably going to save my life potentially. Okay. Oh, I forgot this last little pouch here. Oh, here's something cool. A koozie. So this is actually an item I use way more than I ever thought I would. I threw a koozie in here one day, and I don't know how many times I've been, at a friend's place or whatever, and I'm like, they hand me a beer, and I could ask them for a koozie, but it's just nice to have a koozie. I just grab this out of my pack, boom, got a beer, keep my hand nice and warm, and keep the beer cold or the drink cold. And so, I don't know, it's lightweight. It's kind of a neat thing to have. So, a koozie or a koozie in your EDC kit. Ugh. A water bottle. I can't believe I almost missed the water bottle. I didn't have it in my pack because I had it over on my desk. And as I was about to wrap up this video, I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, water bottle. Everybody should have a water bottle. So this is a double wall insulated, big, thick water bottle. It's made by RTIC. Okay, and I love this water bottle. It's big. I can get a lot of ice in it, a lot of water in it. Keeps the water cold, keeps coffee hot. But it's not the best for survival. I actually have in my bug out bag, I have a bottle that's a single wall water bottle. The reason it's single wall is because double walled, it's going to be really hard to boil water in a double walled insulated water bottle. Okay. It's nice for keeping things cold. It's not great for boiling. And in a pinch, if you're in the wilderness and you don't have your water filter, you will need to boil that water. Okay. And so you put it in a single walled containered water bottle, you hang it over a fire. You create some kind of system to hang that water over the fire, boil it, let it cool down and drink it. Okay. And then it's safe to drink. So for survival, single wall water bottle for everyday carry. When you're not as worried about survival, go ahead and get a double walled, nice insulated, big water bottle. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm sure there's some items that I may have missed. This is the main stuff that I tend to carry every single day. I hope it helped you out. I hope there's a few pieces of gear here maybe that you're looking at upgrading to. Perhaps somebody that you know of could use this as a gift. Anytime the holidays are coming up or a birthday's coming up, these are cool gifts to get somebody that's hard to get gifts for, okay? Most people are into some of this survival and some of these tools that they can use every day. So it's a great idea list as well. So if you want this list in a PDF form, please go to the link in the description below, click the link. You can get a free list. All you got to do is give us your email and we'll send that list over to you. If you want to know about any of this gear that I covered, it'll all be in links in the description below. And finally, if you're still watching this video, then you obviously enjoy this kind of content. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. That way you don't miss any future videos coming down the pipe. Okay, thanks for watching. Remember, prepare, adapt, and overcome.